getting close. I can smell her.
David, that's weird.
Okay. And? Look, I want to kill this son of a bitch for taking my hair.
Are you sure this witch stole your hair? Why would a Drukhari do that?
You act as though I want to understand the Dark Eldar. You're the one trying to plow them left, right, and center.
At least I have a type, and have a list that I can choose. Unlike you.
You know, you're lucky I need you alive. I could just kill you off screen and nobody would question anything. Nobody watches these videos unless I'm bitching about shit.
You bitch a lot. You sure nobody watches?
Look, it seems at random when a video does well, but for today, I've got to talk about some sort of horror game. This might work. Although I don't know if this is actually a horror game. It feels like a standard sort of fantasy RPG, but maybe there's some horror vibes to it? We'll find out. Maybe this is the most horrifying game ever. It's probably obvious at this point that I'm trying to stretch out this video into my normal 10-minute runtime. I had to edit this script 3 times so far, removing a huge section, re-adding it, and so forth.
And what game do you plan on talking about this time?
Today we're going to be talking about the game Kult, spelled K.U.L.T, Divinity Lost. Supposedly this is a horror game, but I don't really know. I'm reading a condensed version of the core rulebook from 2017. Early in this game, but not where you'd think it'd be, there's a section to tell you how dice rolls work. Roll 2d10, add some numbers together to find results. Simple system, I'm okay with this so far. Now, this looks like a classless system, which I'll admit I really like. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you a step-by-step build process, but it does give descriptions of how to go about each part of character creation. So we'll go into that. First step is attributes. There's 2 different categories of attributes, passive and active ones. The passive ones are your defensive stats. There's 3 of them: fortitude, willpower, and reflexes. What they do is pretty obvious. In character creation, you choose 1 to give a +2, 1 to give a +1, and the last remains at 0. I assume you'll add that to when you need to roll saves, plus whatever extra bonuses you may have or need. Looks like certain actions can add to or subtract from certain saves. Active attributes are reason, intuition, perception, coolness, violence, charisma, and soul. These will require you to ask to use them, rather than you being asked to roll them. You've got a +3, +2, +1, another +1, 0, -1, and -2 to spread across these things. Now, I'll touch on these real quick. Reason is your analytic ability and how easy it is for you to get info out of the environment. Intuition is your gut feeling and ability to read others. Perception is fairly obvious, I should hope. Coolness is the ability to hide your emotions and commit crimes. Somehow. Cyberpunk did the same thing. Violence is your raw strength. Charisma is your leadership ability. And soul is your ability to understand the supernatural. Now, it goes into more details about the dice in the next section and subsection. If you get over 15, it's a complete and total success, but if you get 10 to 14, it's just a normal success with a complication. A lot of games have complications, but I never really understood what the stuff actually means. But if you get a 9 or less, you fail miserably. I don't know if I care for this. Like, it's simple and easy to play, But I kinda like how Wrath and Glory does complications and successes. You can sacrifice yourself in glorious ways in order to do something, or you could end up losing a weapon or limb easily. But with these flat numbers, it'll lead to a certain point where you literally can't fail, right? There's also archetypes, which gives you certain abilities and gear. I don't know why this list is marked after gear and attributes and stuff, but maybe that's an issue with the condensed form. I won't dock points for it. It seems each one gives positives and negatives for your character, looking like essentially feats and flaws system. These are pretty interesting, actually. But the list is long. Let's touch on them, but I don't think we'll go into detail. This condensed book has 4 of them, which is considered the base archetypes, while the full book has 20 others. We'll read all of them. The 4 in this version are Artist, Detective, Avenger, and Seeker, but in the core rulebook, there's still the Sleeper, Criminal, Fixer, Prophet, Careerist, Scientist, Veteran, Academic, Agent, Broken, Cursed, Deceiver, Dull, Drifter, Occultist, Ronin, Death Magician, Beast, Revenant, and Disciple. I'll admit I'm curious about a few of those, especially what dull means, because it seems you can only play humans in this game. But each archetype has multiple sub-archetypes too, which add some customization options. You get multiple choices in multiple categories for each one, and I really like that. Each one seems to have some great unique builds. At least with these 4, it seems that you choose a dark secret, which is more of a roleplay thing, 2 negatives, and 3 positives. Advantages, disadvantages, whatever the book wants to call them. Of course, like I said, this is a condensed version of the game. I'm not getting all the information on it. I feel horror games should have some psychological HP system, which feels weird saying out loud. I've not noticed any sort of HP systems at all unless we count the wound system. Honestly, going over this, it's insanely difficult to actually score. I'm trying to figure out how to put an actual number to this game, and I don't think I can. My complaints may just be with this version of the book, but this gives me enough information to make me say it's worth trying out at least once. The artwork in the book is really good, though some of it is definitely not what you want if your parents walk into the room. It doesn't seem intentionally spicy, but more trying to give an actual vibe of ancient artworks. Would I try it? Yes, very much so. Will I? I'll be honest, not likely, but who knows. This is far from a bad game, but I don't really understand the vibe you're supposed to get from it. Like I said, I can't really give a score to this game, simply because I don't have the whole game book. But, come on Jagged Eye, I need to find that scrawny
Pot, meat kettle.
Alright, fuck you and shove off.